Hello, I'm Sean. Welcome back to Selzer Road. Today I want to talk to you guys about the new Stage 4 kit for 24 and newer touring models like this one. What's different about it, what's good, what's bad, what I liked, what I didn't like, and what you should know. See you soon. So I think the best place to start is why? Why did I purchase a Stage 4 kit for a new bike off the showroom floor with 0 miles? Why is a good place to start? Because they wrote a whole book about it. And if you're a salesman, you know what book I'm talking about. So why did I purchase it? So you know why I bought this bike. It's the hooligan in me. I want to do burnouts. I want to do wheelies. I want to do all the fun stuff. I bought this specifically because I had sworn off baggers. I really had. But the technology involved in the dash and just the M8 platform kind of brought me back to where there is a little bit of hooligan left in this bike. And I wanted to just maximize that. I wanted to see how much I could get out of it. And again, I didn't care about the dyno numbers. I cared about the feel. So I wanted something that was super powerful, that would pull a wheelie in second gear with no problem, that would do a burnout on command. And it does that. What doesn't it do though? I'll tell you what it doesn't do is it doesn't go over 107 miles per hour. Of course, I've only done this on a closed track. It's got a safety feature that stops it at 107 miles per hour, and that's just all you get. So why does that upset me? You put a lot of work and a lot of money into a motor, and you want to go fast. That's that simple. Everybody watches The King of the Baggers, right? Well, I don't necessarily want to race this bike, but I would like to be able to do 130. That's kind of something that I would like to be able to do. They call it a 131, maybe you can at least go 131 miles per hour before it's speed regulated. But I digress on that one. The other thing that it doesn't do very well, and it's not necessarily on the motor, but getting it to do a wheelie is a little bit difficult, and it's mainly because of the hard compound of the factory tires. So the factory tires are really, really, really hard, and they do that for longevity, so I can't hate on it. And you do get quite a few miles out of their factory tires, but if you went to like a Dunlop 401, a little bit softer tire, it would make it a lot easier for the bike to connect and to pop a wheelie. The way around that is to deflate your tire a little bit, but it does set off your TPMS warning when you deflate the tire down. So just note that if you do deflate your tire to do wheelies or whatever, you're going to get a warning on your dash that says that your tire is underinflated, which is super annoying to me, but it's the tech. I bought the bike for the tech, so I live with it. One of the things that I knew was going to be a problem, and I was assured was not a problem, was the clutch. So the day I rode this thing home, I can tell you that I was still under break-in power. So I wasn't hot rodding it. I was just going up to 3,000 RPMs, and the clutch was slipping. And why was the clutch slipping? Well, because the factory springs, which I was assured were 1275 springs, were not 1275 springs. And what I mean by that is these springs, which are right inside your derby cover here, come with a different rating. So some of them are 1200, some of them are 1275. And what I did is I bought a set of 1275 springs myself, and I put them in here, and my clutch no longer slips. So one thing that if you're thinking about buying this kit, do not listen to what the tech tells you. Buy 1275 springs and put them in there. You can do that yourself if you want to. I think these were like $50. They're pretty cheap. Really easy to do yourself. And if you guys didn't know about it, Harley-Davidson has a service manual app. It's the HD SIP app. Yes, they have a regular HD app too, but the SIP is a service app, and you can go into this app and you can purchase a 1-year subscription to the service manual for your bike. So if you are thinking about doing your springs yourself, again, they're super easy. You can do it with just taking your derby cover off. I do highly recommend you getting the Harley-Davidson service app and getting the service manual for your specific motorcycle so that you can do things like the clutch springs. And if you want to do your own service, do your own service. By all means, it's not going to affect your warranty if you argue enough, but some dealerships will argue with you about work performed by someone other than them. So again, I digress. It's up to you, but the Harley-Davidson service app is really great to have. Overall, am I happy with the kit? Yes and no. The pros, again, it's got the power that I need. And again, I know that a lot of people do the dyno sheet thing. They've got to have a dyno sheet that says that they have 150 horsepower. And the funny thing about that is for all the 150 horsepower baggers out there, I'll bet there's only 3 riders that can actually use the full extent of it. I have the 131 from Harley-Davidson with a Harley-Davidson tuner. Again, it's claimed at 131 horsepower. And even I cannot outride the full power of this bike. It will slide around corners, and it still does things that I definitely don't really agree with. Anyway, most riders, this will be too much for them. So having ridden this with the 117 and ridden this with the 131, if I had to do it over again, I probably would have just stuck with the 117, mainly because the 117 provided me enough power to do everything I wanted to do. Burnouts, wheelies, that's it. The 131 was kind of me going back to that old man twin cam bagger thing that I don't really like baggers very much, but I wanted this one. I wanted to like this one. Okay, so getting right into it. The first thing you should know about the 131 kit or the bikes themselves, you should know how your dealership employees are paid, and it is not rude to ask how they are paid, because you can't make an informed decision if you don't know how your salesmen are being paid. For instance, my salesmen at my local dealer, they make a small base wage, like $300 a week, and then they make money off of commissions. You should be able to scrutinize everything that you purchase, because just because they work at a Harley-Davidson dealership, just because their shirt says tech, doesn't mean that they necessarily know more about the motorcycle than you do. A lot of these guys, this is just a paycheck for them. Some of them are really good and very knowledgeable, but a lot of them will try and upsell you just because they make a small commission. So you need to know right off the bat how they are getting paid. Are they getting a commission? Are they making an hourly wage? I would trust an hourly wage employee a little bit more, because they don't care whether they sell you or not. I know that's kind of bad, but that's the way I am. So what does the stage 4 for the center-cooled M8s consist of? The base kit itself, starting at the base, is a new head pipe. So it's got a newer high-flow head pipe. And the reason that they give you a new high-flow head pipe is because they're giving you a set of CNC ported heads that are a little bit different than the stock heads. With the kit, you're getting new jugs that are steel lined. It's 4.31 inch bore. You're getting a larger throttle body, larger injectors, a Screaming Eagle 550 cam, and you get this little timing badge, which says Screaming Eagle Stage 4 131. It's pretty cool. Everything is badged out pretty nice. You can see Screaming Eagles written on it a couple places. Harley likes to put their name on things. But from the kit, you basically, from there, you're left to pick the rest yourself. I chose this air cleaner because this is the highest flowing air cleaner that Screaming Eagle offered. And yes, I could have went to the aftermarket, but I kind of like the idea of keeping with Harley-Davidson parts, because my main goal with this whole bike was to maintain the factory warranty. So I didn't want to give them any reason to say that one of your aftermarket parts is what caused a failure. So I chose the high flow Screaming Eagle air filter. With that, inside I have adjustable rocker arms. The whole point, the reason for the adjustable rocker arms is M8s, just like the twin cams, are really noisy on the top end. And you'll get that with a lot of air-cooled motorcycles. When you have an air-cooled motorcycle, there's not a whole lot of barrier between the internals of the motor and what you're hearing. So you hear a lot of noise. And I wanted to keep the noise down just a little bit, so I have adjustable rockers. I also opted for Tab exhaust. I like Tab. I've had Tab in the past, and I think that they make the best sound. That's 100% the reason that I got Tab. Of course, Harley-Davidson claims that this motor makes 131 horsepower, but I think you've seen in previous videos that I've said speed is a feeling, and I don't really care what the dyno sheet says. As a matter of fact, I don't even have a dyno sheet for this. If you guys don't know about tuning and how Harley-Davidson tunes, you should probably watch some videos on it. It's basically they throw a map in your bike that's EPA compliant, throw it on a dyno for a minute, and that's what they call tuning. To me, that's not tuning, and that's not the way it is. But with this kit, I also opted to buy this Screamin' Eagle tuner for two reasons. One, it's got an app that I can use on my phone that supposedly you can do some tuning with. And what I mean is it'll record your ride, and then it'll make small changes to your timing, and then you can re-upload it to the bike. I have not had that work yet, and I'm not a big fan of it. But the app was a big thing for me because I wanted to be able to read codes. So I got the Screamin' Eagle tuner, maintained the warranty. I also bought the Screamin' Eagle high volume pump and cam plate. Did it need it? I don't think so. 2020 and newer Harley-Davidsons come with a higher volume pump anyway. So I'm not 100% certain that I needed it, but it was suggested several times from the service department at my dealership. And I caved for the simple fact that, again, warranty work, I don't want them to come back and say, well, we offered you the high volume pump and you did not take it. For those that don't know, Harley-Davidson doesn't work off oil pressure, they work off volume. So you go by the volume of a pump. So the Screamin' Eagle pump claims 30% more volume than the stock pump. So it's a good peace of mind to have anyway. So I did cave and I did purchase that. Now on this setup, I have got 7,700 miles. I bought the bike Black Friday. I didn't take possession of the bike until January. That's a whole nother debacle with the service department that I don't even want to get into. But I did get the bike in January, and I have put 7,700 miles on it right now. And so far, the only thing that I have broken was a cam plate bolt. The cam plate bolt broke, I think 1,000 miles in. When I got my first service is when they noticed it, and another dealer noticed it. I have taken this bike to the dealership for services for the 1,000 to 5,000. The reason I'm doing that again is for warranty claims. I just don't want to argue when it comes to warranty claims. And why am I being so cautious about warranty? Mainly because of the amount of money spent on the bike. Most of my other bikes, as you can see, are paid off. And when I break them, I just fix them. But with this bike specifically, with the amount of money that I spent on it, I definitely don't want to be wrenching on a bike that I spent this much money on. So the warranty is very important to me. No, I did not buy an extended warranty. I think that's garbage. But if you guys are really wanting this kit, I really suggest, if you're going to buy the kit and you've made up your mind, get the 1275 springs. You can get the high volume oil pump that we talked about earlier. It's a good peace of mind. And again, I don't think it's absolutely necessary, but I do think it's a good peace of mind. The other thing they tried to upsell me on, and this is kind of funny, but they sold me a set of Screamin' Eagle plug wires. And me not having the service manual yet, I went ahead and bought it. And then I found out that the plug wires they sold me were for a twin cam and not for an M8 anyway. And then they sold me 10 millimeter wires, which come factory with all M8s now. My bad. So lastly, Ederson. What do you think of the bagger?
It is good because you can do lots of things on it.
Okay.
And has 2 mirrors on the side.
It's got 2 mirrors on the sides.
And the one thing that I don't like about this is that you can't open a bag.
You can't open them? They're just for looks?
Yes.
You can open them, Bugs.
That way.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Do you like the white bagger or do you like your sidecar?
I like the white bagger a little bit more than the sidecar.
You like the white bagger more than the sidecar? That's because the sidecar is a stock twin cam.
But-
Do you like the white bagger or do you like the dirt bikes? Tough one, huh?
White bagger.
Okay, white bagger. Okay, white bagger or the Vespa?
The white bagger.
What? The white bagger or the Indian?
The white bagger.
What? You got it here. He wants the white bagger with the stage 4. Thanks again.